your music is the music that I listen to my whole life, and you never sounded exactly like everyone else. You also never looked cookie cutter, and you never looked like you were churned out of that pop star, factory that so many come out of. Now, as you're getting older, I'm not gonna say turning 40 here. You look amazing.
Oh, thanks.
Do you fought against that pressure to look and be a certain way when you were so much younger in your career. Now, what is that like with aging in front of a camera and aging in Hollywood? You look amazing.
Oh, thanks.
How do you avoid succumbing to the very nipped and tucked and tweaked?
I'm pretty lucky. I don't feel like my career's ever depended on how I look necessarily. I mean, certainly in an industry where I'm photographed a lot and I'm on film a lot, but I think my fans have always kind of loved me for who I am, and
I mean,
to be
you're
able
hot.
to.
Let's
thank you.
Let's call it what it is here. You're pretty hot.
It's weird. I never thought like a snaggletooth, big-nosed girl from Alaska would, but I've enjoyed it. I feel like especially as I've gotten older, I've just gotten more comfortable in my skin, and I wouldn't trade what I've gained in my aging for what I had in my youth, and that insecure, scared feeling. And fighting for that was hard. I remember when I came on the scene, I was probably 15, 20 pounds heavier, and they said I was the chubby Renee Zellweger, and it's a hard thing to live through, but I was very dedicated to not developing an eating disorder. I was very dedicated not to becoming a drug addict, because I knew they weren't long-term solutions, and it's just about a journey, and you have to go on your journey, and you have to find that love for yourself, and that's just an individual thing.
How do you, in the face of being told by people in your industry that you want to respect that you're a chubby version of someone else, how doesn't that break your heart? Well,
you let it break your heart, and you don't try to not let it break your heart, I guess was what I learned. And I always had writing, and so writing for me helped me get in touch with being vulnerable and going, wow, that really hurts. But being able to let it hurt instead of going, I can't let that hurt, I have to protect myself. And then you get weird defenses, and then you get neuroses, and that turns into a problem. And I think that came from, it sounds weird, but I started bar singing when I was 8 with my dad. And I watched alcoholics my whole life try and avoid problems. And at a very young age, I went, you can't avoid problems, you have to walk through them. And I promised myself at a young age I would try to do that. And it's something I've tried to live by. And whether it comes down to happiness, self-worth, all those things, you have to learn. There's no shortcut. And I've been dedicated to trying to do that. And that's what my writing has documented, and why people probably are drawn to my writing, is because we're all on that same journey of how do I figure life out, how do I be happy, and how do I figure out how to like myself and accept myself as I am. And beyond that, what's unique about you actually is the most special thing about you. And I am amazed that I went from such a broken, strange childhood to being validated by the world for that was bizarre. Like I was a scared homeless kid that wrote in my journal and put it on a record, and people said, I like you, I believe in you, you move me. That's very validating. I got validated on like a worldwide level, snaggletooth and all. It was really amazing. It's a remarkable opportunity. Certainly not everybody has, but it was very validating.